I know we've covered a lot of information today. We want to thank our speakers, Brett, Kimberly, Michelle, for being with us. I want to circle back to each of you for some final key remarks you'd like to make in just a minute or so, if we can, to summarize perhaps that final slide we weren't able to get to, or just a reminder for our attendees as they sort of absorb a lot of the material that we've given them. So, Brett, we'll start with you.
Thank you. Yeah, just a couple key points to close it out. First is more of a pre-litigation point, and it's just to remember the big picture. Keep in mind that jury instruction that will ultimately be read to a jury if the case ever gets to trial in a bad faith action. Put yourself in the insured shoes and just remember to see the forest through the trees. And then the second point, more of a post-bad faith litigation point, is to just identify the weakness of the plaintiff's case and go after it. And so the example I was giving at the end of my presentation was related to the damages discovery, because if you can pin down a plaintiff's damages and really point out that there are none, you could potentially, win outright on a small issue, just such as that. So that's my final key point.
Thank you so much. And Kimberly, if you'd like to give us a final thought, or maybe go ahead and summarize that last slide.
Probably a hybrid. What I would say is one of the pros that I think I'd like to highlight is the ability to sort of reverse bad faith claim. I kind of feel like would allow an insurer to forestall bad faith claims that are disingenuously asserted against them. Like, for example, that case I discussed with the person who filed the uninsured motorist claim. I mean, clearly this person knew that the claim she was filing was fraudulent, but she had the right to assert a bad faith claim against the insurer, and she did. And I think that if insurers have a right to assert a reverse bad faith claim, that might make some insureds think twice. I'm not saying there are not legitimate bad faith claims out there or that should be pressed against insurers. I'm just saying for those who would think maybe they'd think twice about pursuing it. And then on the cons, I kind of want to highlight the concept of potentially creating bad law, because no one wants to create bad law. And although insurers are still pressing the point in the courts, all it will take is one decision where the court really goes through and does a real serious legal analysis versus just saying, the Supreme Court in that particular state has never done this, or we don't think this is a viable claim at this time, because all we need is one bad decision and then we have a problem. So I think that those would be the things that I would highlight.
Thank you so much. And Michelle, thoughts from you?
So one thing I forgot to mention is I mentioned creating a baseline and talking, making sure to create a baseline and taking photographs not only of the damaged area, but also of the general condition of the property. But one thing that I want to caution about is when independent adjusters or field adjusters make assumptions about whether something is mold or damage, and they put that in the caption of the photograph. The photographs should be taken, they should list what rooms they're in, and not provide opinions really about things like mold or dry rot or in the captions of the photographs, because those can really come back to haunt the carrier and can be used against them at trial.